If you've ever scrolled through JAMB's official social media pages, you might have noticed common mistakes candidates from previous years made that cost them a lot of frustration, cost them money, and even time. And I really do not want you to make these mistakes during your registration process, which is why I've put together 6 common mistakes candidates make during the registration process that might cause frustration and cost them money and time later on. All the information in this video are sourced from JAMB official website and from their official social media pages. I'm going to put the link in the description below. You can verify this information yourself. Hello again, you're welcome back to the channel and I'm glad to see you again. If you're new here, I'm Wealth. I'm currently a 50th medical student of UI, and on this channel I'll make videos about medical school admission and personal development. As I've said in my previous videos, I'm here to guide you through the exam preparation and even admission process. So I'll be making a lot of videos and I don't want you to miss any of this. Kindly like this video and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss it. And also please share this video with someone you also feel might find it helpful. Mistake number 1 is not being actively involved in the registration process. Many students don't fully understand the registration or even the admission process and the procedures. There's a lot of things that happen during the admission process, and so they leave everything entirely into someone else's hand and want someone else to do it for them. This is not the best way to go about it. It is okay to get guidance from people, yeah, that's very important, but you too should make attempt to understand the process of registration and even admission. Even for myself, for my first UTME, I actually paid a cyber cafe guy. I just went to the cyber cafe, gave him money and even extra more than what JAMB collected at the end of the day. And what this guy did was to just take me to the CBT center without me really understanding what was going on. I did everything he asked me to do, and that was how the process went. But for my second UTM, I actually went to the accredited JAMB CBT center myself, and the process was even seamless. In fact, in one of JAMB recent bulletin, they emphasized that UTMA process is a personal-based process and not a school-based process. And the reason for this is because, when people are doing things for you, they might not be able to notice error in your information. But if you are there yourself and you are paying full attention while your registration is being done, if there is any error in any of your information, you can easily catch that and correct that. So I encourage you to take a step to actually understand the process of registration and make sure at the CBT center you are fully participating and you are looking at the system and you review your information before the submission. Mistake number 2 is errors in names and biodata. This is one I really want you to avoid because it can stress you out a lot later in the future. So the common errors in names we see is that some people make errors in spelling, like the names are not correctly spelled. The order of the name might not be correct. Some people might put their first name as their middle name. Another error I've seen is mismatch of names, like the names on your document, like your O-level NIN and the one you're putting in JAMB not matching each other. This is going to affect on later on. If you have an NIN and there is an error in the NIN, quickly go do a correction of your name on the NIN before you proceed to do your JAMB registration. So during the JAMB registration, make sure you put in your name correctly and make sure before you submit, cross-check everything again. Mistake number 3 is using a non-retrievable SIM card. One of the first few process in JAMB registration is getting a JAMB profile code, and you get a JAMB profile code by sending NIN space your own NIN number to 55019. I'm going to make a dedicated video about the whole JAMB registration process later, but once you've gotten your profile code using a particular SIM card, that SIM card is unique to you. It's the same SIM card you're going to be using throughout the whole process, and as it stands now, this number cannot be changed, which means you cannot afford to lose the SIM card. That is why it is very important to use your own SIM card or use your parents' SIM card that they can easily retrieve if they lose it at any point. I've seen people from previous years lose their SIM card, and another interesting thing is that if you need to write JAMB again in maybe the next year. I hope you not have to do that. But if a candidate needs to write JAMB again, you still need to use the same SIM card for subsequent years. And that's one problem some people are facing right now. They have lost the previous SIM card and they cannot retrieve it anymore. I don't want you to even go through this process or through these challenges, and that is why I want you to use your own SIM card or use that of your parents if you don't have your own. And if anything ever happens to your SIM card at any point in time, make sure you retrieve it as soon as possible. Retrieve it fast, because I also know that if you don't retrieve a SIM card fast enough, the network provider can actually reallocate the number to somebody else. Your number, if it is not used for so long, can be given to someone else, and I don't want that to happen to you. So please note that use a SIM card that is yours or your parents if you can't have your own SIM card at the moment. But I would recommend using your own personal SIM card, and you know that this SIM card is going to be what you'll be using for as long as possible. Mistake number 4 is using an inactive or inaccessible email address. So another thing you are adding to your profile that cannot be changed at the moment is your email. So there are some processes you need your email for down the line. Make sure you are putting the correct email, because when you need to log into some things, you need your email. And make sure your email is correct, and also make sure you do not forget the password of your email. What I tell my students sometimes is that if you know you are likely to forget your password, write it somewhere safe only you can find. So in case you ever forget your email, you can go check where you wrote the email password down. Don't just write the email password, write the email address too, because I've seen people actually forget what the email address is. Talk more of the password. So write your email address down and write the password somewhere only you can see, so someone is not going to steal your email and password. Forgetting your email password, there is a process of forget password to get a new password, but for some people it might just be too difficult. So the best thing is to not forget your password in the first place. Mistake number 5 is wrong subject combination. You're going to be registering 4 subjects. One is compulsory, which is use of English. Every student is registering use of English. Then 3 other subjects is going to be based on the course you are choosing. Make sure the subject you are choosing is what is required for the course you are choosing. For example, I've seen a case where a student wants to study medicine but is really good in math. Math is his best subject, so he was like, I cannot let this knowledge of math go in vain. So instead of picking biology, I'm going to put in math, then I'll put chemistry and physics. Of course, this student cannot gain admission to study medicine, because to study medicine you need biology, chemistry, physics and English. So make sure you don't make mistakes with your JAMB subject combination. You can make research, go to JAMB official website and look for the JAMB brochure. Search online, ask people who are already studying the course, but make sure any information you get, make sure you double check, verify it from another source, and make sure that the combination you are putting is correct, because wrong subject combination is some sort of automatic disqualification for that course. And another thing to know is that once you've registered the wrong subjects, it cannot be changed. You have to write the exam of what subjects you register. So please take note of that. Mistake number 6 is late registration. The exam venues around you that would be preferable to go to for you might have been filled up, And this actually happened to my very close friend during my own time. Then I registered my own early and he waited for too long to register, and he was sent to a very far village, which he went there and wrote the exam and passed his exam, but it cost him more money, stress. He had to look for people to stay with for a day before the exam. I'll generally advise you, as someone that is watching this video, to register as early as you can. Don't wait for the dying minutes to register. That's all for this video, and I believe your preparation is also going very smoothly. By the way, I wrote a book for JAMB candidate. If you are looking to score above 300, or you are looking to get a very high score in JAMB and you are willing to put in the work, if you are shown how to go about it, then I wrote a book which I believe is going to be very helpful. I wrote this book from 5 years experience of teaching JAMB candidates, teaching private, teaching physical tutorials, teaching online. And this book is a guide that will help you score high. And you're not just getting a book, you're also getting access to an exclusive group where we get people from previous years that have scored so high, talk to you about the method they use. You also get a chance to brainstorm with people that are aiming as high as you and keep you motivated. You will learn, and there is a lot more of things I'll be teaching in the group. So make sure you check it out. I'll put also the link in the description below. And finally, please like this video if you've not liked it yet, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And I will also appreciate you sharing this video with someone you believe will find it helpful. Thank you, and bye bye.